Hi, I'm Paul Tapner, and this year at Badminton Horse Trials, I was one of 4 riders to wear a helmet cam across country that complemented the TV coverage of the event. These helmet cams are relatively new innovation, and this year I've worn one at quite a few major events throughout Europe. I'm now finding they're becoming a useful training aid, both for myself in assessing my own performance and also in the education of other riders. So with this year's footage, I thought I'd give you an insight as to how I prepare and plan to ride each jump, and then exactly what I'm thinking during every step of the course. So if you're an eventing fan and have always dreamt of riding around Badminton, then join me now as we get ready to launch out of the start box. So here we are at the start box of the cross country. This is where it all starts to happen. Nerves are tingling in both horse and rider, ready for the starter to yell, go. Out you charge, out of the start box. You hear the crowd roar. Hopefully they roar loudly and give you lots of adrenaline as you approach the first fence. Try not to do too much at the first fence. You can see the horse tossing his head a little bit there. I actually half-halted a few too many times than what I planned. But now we're away, galloping as fast as we can down this hill. It's actually quite a steep hill when you get a gallop up. Our second fence is the owl hole. It's a bit of a blind turn to the owl hole. You can see I'm turning my head looking for it. I'm actually trying to line up the television camera, which is directly above it and in front of it. And there we go, straight underneath the television camera up to the right there. Now you quick gallop downhill to the huge ditch and brush, sail over that so you don't even see the ditch. And now again, try and go as fast as you can up the hill to the Lancer village. So really trying to make up as much time as we can, as early as we can. On this fence, I opted to do the 2 left-hand houses. There's plenty of different ways through this, but for my horse and my way of thinking, the 2 left-hand routes gave us the smoothest route. Over the first one, around that little bump there, up the hill to the second one, land and gallop. I've just completed a minute. The beginning of that fence was our first minute marker. So already I'm thinking about my time and where I'm going. The next fence is the first real question on the course, and on this one it's a bit of again a blind turn to it. I've got to line up the Cancer Research UK sign at the very bottom of the hill approaching this huge oxer, because it's not until you get in the air now you can see the second fence. 1, 2, 3, 4 strides, straight line to that, land and go. So we're galloping up the hill now to fence 7 and 8, the HSBC FEI Classics Corral. The only thing fancy about this jump is the name. As we go past that black sign there, it's our minute marker. You can see I'm turning my head, turn to this fence, 90-degree turn, jump the first. Now I've got another 90-degree turn here over this big oxer, another 90-degree turn round the tree to the final third fence here. Oh, and you can see a bit rough on the head cam footage there, and me talking to the horse. That's because the horse left a leg there and didn't jump it as clean as I'd like. On our way now to fence 10, the John Whittaker International Shooting Butt maximum dimension let-up fence. Only at Badminton could you call it maximum dimension fence and let-up fence. Sail over that like a pony club fence and away we go. Approaching the Shogun Hollow fence, I want to stay against the left-hand string until I see that green television camera tower directly in line with the first fence. If I jump the first fence on that angle, it gives me my correct line of 4 curving strides to the second fence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the air over this fence, I've got to change my focus towards the last fence. You can see I've turned my head already, and now the horse rides the turn on 4 strides, land and gallop as fast as you can. So we're on our way down this short little steep hill to fence 11, the Outlander Bank. This fence is massive. First time I saw this jump I thought it was unjumpable, but thankfully I've jumped it a few times now, and that was the smoothest ride I've ever had over this fence. There's nothing easy about that jump. Now we've got a quick turn around to this massive oxer over a ditch, and there's a trick here. We've got to look for that little gap in the tree which is just showing up the white flag there. We've got to aim our head to go straight through that little arch in the tree, lining up the middle of the first fence, and then all of a sudden, look, there we can now see the second fence. Over that easy. I actually wanted to turn inside both of those trees, didn't quite make the turn, so I had to duck and dive a few of the branches there, galloping along trying to get as close to this right hand string as we can and not get distracted by the camera crew on the quad bike there. Now turning my head now and looking for this fence, and actually what I'm looking to line up is some massive big farm buildings way off in the distance. So you can see I've turned my head but I'm still staying against the string. Now I'm looking for that farmyard.
There it is, way up in the distance. You can see that big silver blob up there. That's a big barn. That's what I'm trying to line up to the middle of the hedge. That puts me square across the ditch so that I don't land in the ditch on the landing side. Sail over that without any troubles at all. And then this next fence comes up really quick, the colt pond. Here it's all about getting the line right. Left of centre to the first, to the right of centre to the second. Land, 1, 2, 3, 4 big strides across there. That rode a lot easier than it walked. Here I'm having an absolute debate with myself. I desperately want to go straight here. I've trained my horse to go straight, but under advice of the owner and trainers and everybody, we've had to go long here. So over the first fence there, now trying to not take too much time, taking a nice quite tight turn into this big wagon fence. Again, trying to turn in amongst all these decorations as quick as I can, and then straight line and gallop away up to the Sunken Road, the next fence. And there's crowds everywhere. It's great fun. On our way now to fence 16, the Swindon Designer Outlet Centre, Sunken Road. Staying against the right-hand string till I find that line to the last fence. There it is, straight line now, over here. 1, 2 strides, 2 strides to the next fence. Just like grid work for this horse. He finds those big fences and big strides very easy. Tight turn here, try not to fall over, go as fast as I can. Whoop, look out for the cameraman on the side there, and away we go. Had a long gallop now away from the most intense part of the course, back at the Vicarage V area, back up into the main park. We've got this big table now. It's a maximum width table. Try not to waste too much time there. I said woo a few too many times there. A bit annoyed at myself with that. Should have kept galloping, save time there. Now into the lake. This is where the nerves start to tingle of the horse and rider. You know everybody's here looking to see a dunking. Quick look at the watch there. Yeah, some spectators cheering. We love a bit of noise to get the adrenaline pumping even more. Looking for the L200 pickups now. I'm going to jump this on the right-hand side and do a curving line to the wave, staying out to the right a fair bit there. Now, as I jump this wave, you can see, before I've even jumped it, I've turned my head now and I'm focusing on that second wave. I'm just going to let the first wave happen as I turn and really focus on getting into the lake. Turn and power into the lake. I'm in the air now over the wave into the lake. You can see I'm looking over my left shoulder, that white flag there, looking for the exit. I'm actually going to take my time in the lake and just let the horse neatly pop out over this wave. Now turn as tight as I can, try and run that green man over, and then gallop on down to the Wadworth Barrels. Trying here not to get distracted by the beautiful house up in the distance and all this thick layer of spectators out to the left there as I get gradually closer to them to make my turn now to the Wadworth Barrels. There it is. Nice and forward to that one. Land and gallop. And quick check of the watch there and try and make up as much time as I possibly can. Coming up to another famous area of the Badminton cross-country course, the Huntsman's Close. Upright white gate on the approach to here. Come on, I'm trying to tell him to wake up. He's feeling a bit leg weary. I don't want him to leave a leg on that gate and fall. Many a horse and rider do. I can hear my watch going off there. I'm just telling him, come on, there's some hard work to be done over this bounce. He does that really nicely. And I'm a bit panicked here. I have a quick look at the watch there now, because actually my minute marker, my watch should have been beeping now as I cross that road. So I'm really trying to push him hard here up this hill to make up the time that I've just lost at that fence. Here we're approaching the quarry now, turning to this massive log here. A bit distracted by that white sign there. A bit annoyed that the fence judges forgot to take that down. But anyway, focus on this jump. This jump is big. You can see how long we're in the air there for. Now we keep on going up the hill to this another log. It's not quite so big. Turn my head in the air, looking for that log at the bottom of the hill. Here I'm a little worried. I'll try and get his head up a bit. Oh, bang, he actually hit me in the face there. I have to say, I'm sort of seeing a bit of double here as I go to this fence. I've landed, jumping just fine. Now galloping towards home. Now I'm thinking about the clock. Really got to push hard and go fast. You see, have another look at the clock there. Really encouraging everything I've got. So we're approaching the Rolex turn now. Now I'm really prepping myself to get the 4 strides between this brush and this big table. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it perfect. Oh, but the horse has stumbled on landing. Really upset me, but actually regrouped really quickly and was able to get over that narrow fence after that big white oxer. Really important to get the striding right there because the horse is very leg weary now. It's right at the end of the course. He's really feeling the miles that he's travelled. The crowd lets up a big cheer as you come through into the main arena. It makes him even more nervous not to make a mistake at the last. He felt really tired there, so you can hear me yelling at him, telling him how important it is to jump this fence clear. There we go, through the finish and the relief. And on the left here you can see the owner, Sue White, clapping. She's full of relief as well, and my groom's coming up to greet me.
Kilfinney gave me a great ride around Badminton this year. Although the end result wasn't quite as exciting as the win that I Know Nothing gave me last year, it's been fantastic to relive the action through this headcam footage, and so I hope you've enjoyed the ride too.